It amazes me that to convince black people that Donald Trump cares about them, he takes pictures with celebrities. It's amazing to me. If Donald Trump cared about black people, he wouldn't have denigrated the president with those claims of birtherism.
But part of that is starting off with Snoop Dogg and Nelly and Soulja Boy and others for their decisions to perform at events surrounding the inauguration.
DL Hughley just lit up social media by calling out Snoop Dogg for doing exactly what he once criticized others for. The comedian isn't pulling punches, he's putting Snoop on blast, claiming the rapper's finally showing his real side, and fans are all over it. It all started when DL reshared a 2017 clip of Snoop mocking black entertainers who performed at Donald Trump's inauguration. At the time, Snoop took shots, saying, "Which one of you Uncle Tom ninjas is gonna do it?" The tone was harsh, unapologetic, and clear. But now in 2025, the tables have turned. Snoop just took the stage at a Trump event himself.
Most important thing is there's got to be a solution, because this has been going on in the industry for a whole years, for decades. And at the same time, nobody wants this to be true, and it shouldn't have to be true. But if we don't fix it and do something about it, history constantly
repeat itself. Now, Suge, you said something early on that I want to get clarification for the audience. Suge, you said early on, you can't just look at Diddy in isolation. You said this was done to him. He learned from others, and it was done to him, and then he did to others. To me, that sounds like what I hear when people are talking about situations, hurt people, that someone was, they wind up being a perpetrator. Is that what you're suggesting about Sean Combs, that he was used and he now uses?
Yeah, I think that's absolutely right. I think he repeat what was done to him. And like I said, if you look at Russell Simmons, you know the truth. Andre Rail, you know the truth. Clyde Davis, you know the truth. Jimmy Iovine, you know the truth. So there's not certain things that all of a sudden you got this. The industry is a quick business. It's been like that for a long time. And the casting couch is real, but it's for women and men. But far from all that, I think the most important thing is I feel like they should let Puffy tell his truth. I'm quite sure he's going to expose a lot of people. I'm sure he's going to move forward with it. But I don't think it should be a situation like the Epstein thing where they found him hanging from the ceiling or dead for the truth coming.
Standing alongside Nelly and Rick Ross, Snoop found himself in the exact position he once criticized others for. The same energy he aimed at them years ago, it's now being aimed right back at him. And this time, social media wasn't forgiving. The backlash was brutal. Fans slammed him as a sellout, called him fake, and even mocked him with jokes like, Snoop stood tall and said, "Yes, sir, I'll perform for you, sir." Many were shocked that someone who built his legacy on defiance and street credibility would make a move like this.
And I knew that Pac did everything right by him by putting him on All Eyes on Me, speaking about him and being real with him. And if it's true what they say,
this call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Face-to-face is going to be a lot of explaining to do. Only way you have a radio, if you was at the fight with us and you had a security detail. I'm not having a security detail. Reading with the radio.
Performing for a crowd that barely follows hip-hop was already questionable, but the timing made it even worse. Snoop is currently under intense scrutiny, with ongoing rumors linking him to Diddy, talk in the industry suggesting he's playing both sides, and even extreme accusations that he's been cooperating with federal authorities. To make matters worse, Suge Knight recently spoke out, branding Snoop as the real snitch in the music game. Now, the controversy is too big to ignore. The pressure is building fast.
Nah, chill. I'm not performing. I am in Washington, D.C. right now, but I'm not performing. It's a private vibe I'm doing with my brother Snoop Dogg.
1, 2, 3 into the folk. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the dope, ready to make an entrance.
Suge Knight shut down the whole story about Snoop getting kicked out while trying to visit Pac, calling it a complete lie. According to Suge, Snoop never even showed up. And when the founder of Death Row speaks, people tend to listen. Now, with the added controversy around Snoop's appearance at a Trump event, his reputation is taking a serious hit. His credibility is being torn apart online.
But I am honored to be performing for the office, for the president of the United States. Regardless, ain't nan other president asked me to perform. Nan.
Snoop's reputation as hip-hop's laid-back, respected uncle is starting to fall apart. And DL Hughley isn't letting it slide under the radar. When Snoop, Nelly, and Rick Ross showed up at a Trump inauguration event, the internet went into meltdown. Fans felt blindsided, calling the move a slap in the face to everything hip-hop represents.
Ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo is gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast one of you Uncle Tom is for doing it. Which one of you gonna do it first?
Nelly didn't back down. He took to social media to defend himself during a discussion with rapper Willie D, stating, "This isn't about money. It's an honor. I respect the office, plain and simple." He even mentioned he'd perform for Biden or Kamala Harris if they invited him, framing it strictly as a business decision, not a political statement. However, DL Hughley wasn't convinced. He jumped on Instagram and fired back hard, saying, "Trump's support of white supremacy isn't just history, Nelly, it's who he still is today." He didn't stop there. DL also shared an old clip of Snoop, allowing the stark contradiction to speak for itself. The point was clear. DL was exposing the hypocrisy, and many people agreed with him.
Hey, man, you playing to win tonight, man. You sharp as a mosquito. What's going down? That's that crypto, see? They let a real crip up in the crypto ball. Ooh. Bang, bang.
The conspiracy theory that Snoop is playing for both sides gained momentum, and it wasn't just internet trolls spreading it. Even respected voices in hip-hop started weighing in. A former producer remarked in an interview, "You never really know who's genuine in this game. Some people you think are real have been playing chess while everyone else plays checkers." Fans took that as a subtle jab at Snoop. Now, whenever something shady happens in the industry, his name inevitably comes up, leaving many confused about what to believe. Despite all the backlash, Snoop has remained mostly silent, sharing only a few cryptic posts and jokes online. Some say he's brushing it off. Others think he's too established to be bothered. But silence can be risky when loyalty is in question. The longer he stays quiet, the louder the speculation becomes. The same man who once claimed to be the voice of the streets now finds those streets turning against him. In today's digital era, public opinion hits harder than any diss track. And this controversy is no longer about just one incident, it's about legacy. When authenticity is the foundation of your career, a single misstep can turn everything upside down. Snoop is currently facing the biggest image crisis of his life. The irony is sharp. He's the one who showed everyone how to navigate the game, yet now it seems like he's the one being played. What began as social media chatter has morphed into a full-blown debate about trust, loyalty, and reputation in hip-hop. Every day brings new clips, interviews, and memes dragging Snoop back into the spotlight. Some still support him, arguing he's just making smart business moves, but others feel deeply betrayed, as if their trusted uncle has switched sides in real time. Snoop built a seemingly untouchable brand, but lately, that armor is showing cracks. When you've had a long, public career like his, every contradiction eventually comes back to haunt you. DL Hughley didn't just call him out for hypocrisy, he touched on a long-standing tension in the hip-hop community between staying true and selling out. When DL labeled Snoop's performance for Trump as a power move, Trump flexing by making someone who once mocked him perform, people understood the message. It made Snoop appear as a pawn in a larger political game. One viral tweet summed it up perfectly. "Trump didn't need your bars, Snoop. He needed your face. That's the real flex." And that's exactly what DL has been warning about. Powerful figures using celebrity faces to send messages that go far beyond entertainment. Some even revived the old accusation that Snoop knew more about Tupac's death than he let on, and that his story about being kicked out of the hospital after Pac was shot was just a sympathy play. Suge flatly denied it, saying Snoop never even showed up at the hospital. And when Suge speaks, even from behind bars, the hip-hop world listens. What's wild is how quickly the narrative shifted. Not long ago, Snoop was everywhere. smiling on TV, lighting up the Olympics, collaborating with brands, starring in movies, looking like hip-hop's most beloved figure. Now, every move he makes is scrutinized. Even innocent commercials get criticized, with fans claiming Snoop's become more mascot than musician. One viral line said it all. Snoop's on every product but loyalty. It's clear this controversy doesn't hurt his bank account but strikes at his reputation, because no amount of money can buy street respect, and once it's lost, it's tough to regain. Still, some defend him, pointing out he's carried the West Coast for decades, building bridges where others burned them. Why hate on him for getting a bag from Trump? One fan argued. You weren't mad when he was cashing Hollywood checks. This brings up the business side of things. Snoop is one of the few from his era still thriving in mainstream entertainment, which means tough choices that many street artists never face. Maybe he's not betraying anyone, maybe he's just navigating a system where you either play the game or get played. But perception trumps logic nowadays. One wrong move online, and the culture is ready to cancel you. With DL Hughley resurfacing that 2017 clip, fans had all the evidence they needed to slam Snoop. The irony is brutal. The same man who once asked, "Which one of you Uncle Tom ninjas gonna perform for Trump?" ended up headlining for him years later. The energy he threw out came back tenfold. One viral TikTok summed it up perfectly. That's not karma, it's full circle humiliation. Fans who once saw him as Uncle Snoop are now wondering if that image was ever real. One comment summed it up perfectly. We loved Snoop because he was one of us, not one of them. But now, he's standing with them, and we don't know what that means anymore. This kind of disappointment isn't something you can just laugh off on Instagram. This time, the smoke isn't from his blunt, it's from the backlash. No matter how it unfolds, one thing is certain. This saga has changed how people view Snoop Dogg. His legacy may remain intact, but his loyalty has never been questioned like this before. DL Hughley didn't just call him out. He opened a broader conversation about what it means to stand by your word when fame and politics collide. So, what do you think? Did Snoop, Nelly, and Rick Ross cross a line by performing for Trump? Or is it just business as usual? Drop your thoughts below. This debate has split the culture. And don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment for more deep dives into hip-hop's biggest stories. This one is far from over, and the next chapter might be even crazier.